DIY number 1, pumpkin name holders. Supplies needed include terracotta clay, an arrow paper clip, and a plastic score. That is it. So what I did is I took a piece of clay about the size of a large bead, and I rolled it in my hand to form a nice size ball. And once I got it to the size that I liked or I intended it to be, I took the plastic score and I made several markings on the side of the ball so it would look pretty much like a pumpkin. I got some small arrow paper clips that I had for quite a while in my stash from Dollar Tree, and I pushed those to the top of the pumpkin and then let it dry. Now you can paint the pumpkin if you want to, but I left it terracotta because it looked more like pumpkin and more like fall. Now the arrow, you're going to push it down, not all of the way. You want to leave a little bit sticking out so that you can place a card in there and put it on your table. So I put the card between the paper clips. I put a name in it. I place it at each place setting. And now I have just pumpkinized my tablescape. The hosts for anything autumn are the Creole Crafter and Crafting My Best Life with Lisa. These are beautiful and amazing crafters. The link to their channels is in the description box below. So be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment. Now there are other crafters that love autumn also, so join the playlist that is in the description box below. Okay, now we are on to DIY number 2, a pumpkin candle holder. The supplies needed include a pumpkin mold, and I got this from Hobby Lobby. We got a brand new Hobby Lobby, and I just perused every aisle, and I saw this pumpkin mold. I thought, oh, that is just wonderful, and you can use it for different things. Of course, you're going to need a little cornstarch, some jute, the terracotta clay that I use for the pumpkin name holders, some wood glue, a candle, and a small jar. Now, for the mold, you're going to add a little cornstarch to the mold. And then I put the clay in there and I smoothed it over and then removed it. And I had to make several of them, but I needed enough just to go around the bottom of the jar. I just did the bottom of the jar, but you can maybe layer it up 2 or 3 high if you want to. But I just wanted to do the bottom because I wanted to put the candle in there and I wanted it to show light. So once I got all of the pumpkins made, I glued them with wood glue around the bottom, just around the bottom of the jar. And a little bit of the cornstarch got on the pumpkins, and you know, I liked it because it gave it kind of a muted look for the pumpkin, or maybe a dusty look. And that turned out just great. Put the candle inside, and then you are going to display it anywhere in your home. You can do it on your tablescape, you can put it there, or you can put it in any of the rooms in your home. And like I said, you can have more than one row of pumpkin. Of course, you're going to make it look even more cute. So I took some jute, tied it around the top of the jar, and it is just a wow factor. Let me know what you think. Now on to DIY number 3. This is a chenille beige pumpkin, and the supplies needed include 1/2 yard of fabric, and that will give you a couple of pumpkins, some embroidery thread, hot glue, a charger, a peduncle or stem, a pop can for the leaf, and some batting. This was a remnant at Hobby Lobby, and I thought, oh, this would make a lot of nice pumpkins. But some people don't like the orange pumpkins that they see all the time in the store. So hey, for those people who are like neutral type things, I made a neutral pumpkin out of some chenille stretchy fabric. So I took a charger and I used that as my template. And I used chalk to trace around the fabric. And then I cut it out, and it ended up being a circle. I took some embroidery thread to make a running stitch around the outside. And the reason why I use embroidered thread is because it is strong. But before I gathered it, once I got to the other side, I filled it with batting. And then I closed it with the thread. And you can leave a little opening in there if you don't think that you have enough batting. You can add more. Then you're going to put your peduncle or your stem. Now you can use peduncles that you have around your home on maybe some old pumpkins, or you can use real ones. The real one that I was going to use is huge, so I said I need to make a really big pumpkin for that one to work. And I just hot glued that to the top of the pumpkin where I had closed it with the embroidery thread. Next, I felt that it needed a leaf, and so I had a pop can that I had used for something else. It was open, and I traced the leaf around it. I cut out the leaf, made the markings for the leaf, and then I took it out and I sprayed it gold. And once it was sprayed gold, after it was dry, I just hot glued that very, very close to the peduncle. I think it looks fabulous. You can use leaves that are from the Dollar Tree and you can just cut them to size, or you can make them out of anything. And there you go. It looks just fabulous. Now, if you have liked what you've seen, please subscribe, like, save, and comment. I love to hear what you have to say, and I would love to have you to subscribe. Now, someone told me what they would like for me to make, and that will be coming next month. And I think they will be very pleased with what I come up with. It just goes to show you that you can make something out of very little supplies, and that's what I try to do. I try to use what I have on hand, and so far it's working out really well. I would love to have you join the family. I love all of my subscribers. I love your comments. You're so kind and loving, and I appreciate that. And so I will leave you today with, you must have peace that passes all understanding. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.